Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be talking about the summer anime season, and let me tell you, it is going to be one of the craziest, greatest seasons we have ever had. Like, seriously, like, ever. I've never seen this much depth in an anime season. We are screwed. That's why we're recording this a little bit earlier. We usually record, like, the week before, the season drops. We have to do it a couple weeks before because this anime season is just loaded. Absolutely loaded. With that being said, we are going to have the chapters down below. If you get lost, don't worry. You can kind of skip ahead, skip to where you want to see. Send this to a friend to make sure that they are well informed. And most importantly, guys, this season is no different from any other season in the aspect of this. We're going to miss some stuff. All right, whenever we have an anime season that drops, we do a preview, kind of looking at what's going to be coming out, kind of help prepare everybody, look at, what's going to be our favorites, what's going to be the sleepers, you know what I mean, stuff like that, and it's always a very exciting and fun time. But with every single season, we have to do a check-in video. A couple weeks into the season when it starts, we do a check-in video, talk about what's been popping off, what's been kind of disappointment, but the sleepers, like this season, for example, T-Bait, the beginning after the end, that was the anime that everyone was excited for, everyone was hyped for, it was going to be the greatest. Yeah, it flopped. And you know what came out of absolute nowhere? To Be Hero X. No one ever heard about it before this season, or most people haven't, and it is dominating this season, which, speaking of, it will be in the summer season. We are getting 24 episodes. It is going to be amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm absolutely loving it. So let's get into it. We're going to be going really quick over what's going to be dropping a new season, like a continuance, and then we're going to go in depth with the actual premieres, because not only do we have some of the hottest, best animes dropping new seasons, we have a lot of premieres that are going to be contending for Anime of the Year. This year is disgusting, and this season is carrying. So let's get right into it. First of all, My Dress Up Darling is going to be coming in July. Not sure how many episodes, but I know a lot of people waiting for it. It's been several years since the season 1, and honestly, I'm pretty hyped. It's a pretty solid series, so I'm definitely excited for season 2 to come back. DanDaDan, July 4th. Don't know how many episodes. A lot of these we're not sure how many episodes they're going to have. It's still a mystery, but I'm super, super hyped about this one. I know a lot of people are. It was nominated for Anime of the Year, and since it knew it was going to have like a part 2, it's not really a season 2, they ended in the weirdest spot ever. They really cut the season in half. It wasn't like, that last episode did not feel good, so getting this part 2, a lot of us have been waiting for it, because the ending of season 1 was in a weird spot. It was in a weird spot. It wasn't in a weird spot? Kaiju 8. Kaiju 8 dropped season 1. Again, it was nominated for Anime of the Year. I got the shirt. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of the anime. And season 1 ended in a really good spot. A lot of shit went down. It was absolutely insane. Like I said, I voted for it for Anime of the Year. It did not win, but it definitely earned the nomination. It's really good. Season 2 is going to be absolutely incredible. We also have Call of the Night Season 2, July 4th. Not sure how many episodes. Again, dude, another amazing anime. High Dive exclusive. I got the trial just to watch it. Season 1 was really good. Nice little romance anime. Really nice to sit back, relax, and enjoy it. It was a solid anime. I really liked it. The Rising of the Shield Hero, Season 4, I believe, coming in July. Not sure how many episodes. Listen, it had such a good start. It has really fallen off. A lot of people didn't even know it came out to Season 3. I don't know. I personally liked it, but I do agree the pacing has gotten weird. I don't know. It just doesn't hit like it did in the beginning. Hopefully season 4 can be that comeback season for it. It can get back on track and really kind of deliver that amazing anime it once delivered to its fans in the very beginning. It did have a huge fan base, so hopefully we can bring that back. We also have Sakamoto Days, July 15th. Not sure how many episodes. Another really good anime. We talked a lot about this. We got an anime podcast. Episodes drop every Tuesday. So we talked about how season 1 or part 1, didn't have the best animation. The art was great. A lot of people complained about it and weren't happy about it because in the manga, the fight scenes were very fluid and the scenes were very clean and detailed. First part of the season, we did not have that, and that's why people were upset with it. It's still really good as an anime-only watcher. I absolutely loved it, but seeing the panels, I can see where people are coming from. Now, we talked about how with Blue Lock, the beginning of the second season, they called it PNG Lock. It didn't, deliver. But that's because they saved it all for the U20 game, and that's where the animation came back, and absolutely we kind of talked about, maybe shit's about to go down in the second part of the season. And I heard that it's the Sakamoto crew against the Order, against Slur. So we have a 1v1v1, primed for a solid season. It should be amazing. The fight scene should be amazing. Hopefully they saved up all of their time and resources for this part, so I'm looking for a Sakamoto Days comeback here, and I think that they can do it. It is a solid anime. I recommend all of these animes, guys. If you guys haven't seen any of these animes, you're not sure what we're talking about, go watch them. They're all huge. They have massive fan bases, and it's all for a very good reason. They are all very good animes, which is why we're just kind of speeding right through this, because you don't really need to say anything else about them. They kind of say everything for themselves. We also have Dr. Stone, I believe, believe this is the last season. If not, we are getting very, very close to it. Dr. Stone is an amazing, amazing anime. It is the Bill Nye the Science Guy of our time. You should really check it out. It's awesome. And then lastly, Rent-A-Girlfriend. I haven't seen it. I know Blake's a fan of it.
Oh yeah, baby.
I know it's got quite the fan base. I know a lot of people are stoked for the new season of Rent-A-Girlfriend. If you've been waiting for it, it's here. It's finally here. And then lastly, 2 new movies, guys. That's actually insane that we're getting 2 movies this season. I feel like we never really get any anime movies. Gotta be careful when you're looking at the movies, though. A lot of people will see a new movie, they're like, oh my god, gotta go watch it, and then it's a recap. A lot of animes are dropping movies that are just recaps plus like 2 or 3 scenes, and they're really disappointed and pissed. You gotta read what these movies are about. We got the Chainsaw Man movie. It's new content. It is the Bomb Devil arc. Apparently, it is really, really good. As a huge Chainsaw Man fan myself, I am really, really excited. I hope it succeeds and we can get like a season 2, or it can start to continue. I hate that we just kind of stopped after season 1 and it's been so long. Chainsaw Man's goated. This movie should absolutely body. And then, of course, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, again, it is new content. If you did not know, they are done pretty much with the series. They are ending the series in a trilogy of movies. This is the first of the 3, is the Infinity Castle arc, and it is going to be insane. It is going to be incredible. So we're not just getting 2 movies, we're getting 2 amazing movies that you really want to go to theaters to see. So keep an eye on them. The Chainsaw Man movie is going to be September 19th, and the Demon Slayer movie is going to be September 12th. You see other dates, especially ones that are sooner. That's only in Japan. Here in America, September 19th and September 12th. You want to keep an eye on that. They are going to be amazing. But speaking of amazing, our premieres, guys. Our premieres. I know we've been quick, but now we're kind of slow it down a bit. We have a lot of good animes coming. One of which, you know, Blake likes to say and give me credit because we do talk about sleeper animes. We got a whole playlist. It could be at the end of this video. That, you know, if I recommend something, you got to go watch it because I got some sleepers. Blake, though.
Truth.
He's got the sauce when it comes to manga, man. You recommend some of the best mangas that are just absolutely incredible. He recommended one, Gachiakuta, where I'm like, oh, this seems pretty good, but I was in the middle of something, you know what I mean? And the second I finished it and got caught up with Kagurabachi, another phenomenal manga. Thank you for the recommendation. Absolutely incredible. They announced that they're coming out with an anime. So, who better to tell you, like, what to expect, what you're in for, than Blake? I mean, Gachiakuta, man. What do people got to expect from this? What do people got to look forward to?
So super cool story. Like basically starts out, you have like the regular world, but there's like an edge to it. And society just throws all their trash and like every bit of refuse off the edge. So it basically goes down to like this underworld type area. Well, to make a long story short, our main character Rudo, his hobby is trash picking. He likes going through the trash and trying to make something out of things people don't want or don't care for, which ends up kind of playing into the story and like the power system a little bit, like the emphasis and feeling you give on items, which is kind of cool considering how materialistic things are nowadays. Kind of moving on, Rudo is framed for a murder that he didn't do, and they launch him off the side of the world, basically. So you think, my man's probably going to die, but he survives the fall and meets other people down there and begins his quest for revenge to get back up to the top, learn about these powers, and he meets some phenomenal other characters. The art is really cool. I'm a huge fan of the artist, and like the kind of the art style is adapted extremely well from what I can tell in the trailer, but it's very like raw and kind of like sharp edges. It reminds me of Chainsaw Man away, and that was like a little bit different, manga compared to the anime. But I feel like Gachiakuta is like really spot on with it, so I think people will like that. And then, I mean, you've got like a terribly handsome male character covered in tattoos. Dude's a badass. So, I'm sure Engine will be a heartthrob, but super, super good. If you want to check out the manga, I think it'll really get you excited for it. But really great story, awesome characters. And the villains are like weird. They're definitely bad guys, but they're not like traditional, I want to take over the world domination. They're like quirky and weird and goofy, which I think actually makes them a really good like band of bad guys.
Yeah, I mean, when you recommended it, I checked that out, like the first couple chapters, and the art did look amazing. And seeing the trailers for it, it looks like it's gonna be like a really interesting kind of like art style to the anime. Like it seems like it's gonna be like really cool. It's gonna like stand out a bit, and like you said, the idea of it is like very kind of like Chainsaw Man-esque. In a way, like it's similar, but it's not. You know what I mean? You get the same kind of feeling from it. So like, I'm super excited about it. It does look amazing, and like I said, you have never missed when it comes to manga. So the fact that this is getting animated already, I think speaks for itself, and I'm really excited to jump into the manga after the first season. It seems like it's gonna be awesome.
I think it'll be sweet. I think it'll be like a huge hit. And if you grew up watching Naruto, you know how cool those scenes were when he was like going nine tails and
Hmm.
his like face gets all dark and they get that aura. There's a ton of that with the main character where he's like super creepy and like everything's real dark and stuff. It's like kind of edgy and campy in a way, but I think it's badass and I think people will really enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool, and like, yeah, like you said, it kind of like has that like darker kind of vibe to it, which seems like it. It's nice. You know what I mean? It's something like different. I feel like that's gonna be the highlight of it. It's gonna be a shame because this is a very stacked season. We went on for like 8 minutes about what's coming out the new season. Stuff that already has an established fan base. The premieres, it's gonna be easy for them to kind of get like left behind or like overlooked. So hopefully this is not gonna be one of them because it seems like it really could be an awesome like anime for people to really kind of get into and enjoy. So guys, be sure to check it out. It is gonna be awesome. Another one that kind of seemed dark and mysterious and cool was the summer Hikaru died.
Yeah, Summer Hikaru died is really cool. Just like a little synopsis. Yoshiki and Hikaru have been stuck together. They're like super tight, best friends. They're from a small village, and they're like the only children their age. And the two boys find solace in each other's company. So you can imagine, if there was literally nobody else your age in your
Mm-hmm.
tiny village, you'd be pretty tight with you'd be homies. You know what I mean? Enough said. Their friendship is like super good and everything's kosher. But then Yoshiki notices a shift in Hikaru's demeanor ever since one summer. The Hikaru that sits by him now is nothing like his friend, despite the physical appearance being the same. Kind of Kowloon generic romance energy going right there.
Yeah.
Another one to check out. I just dropped that in there. Yoshiki knows something's amiss and that the Hikaru he once knew is gone. So kind of like, he's racked with grief and unable to let go of like his best friend, which, there's nobody else like him or around his age. So you can imagine kind of how deep that is. But then it gets bigger and there's like strange occurrences going on in the village and throughout their lives that kind of, makes it more complicated and more complex than just like a coming of age or two friends splitting apart. So like definitely some like supernatural, chaos going on there. But I think this will be another, yeah, kind of like dark, maybe scarier anime. Like the cover definitely giving off some weird vibes from Hikaru
Yeah,
there.
but you know what's insane about it? So like it talks about this. So like he notices that his friends kind of like something's up, right? Even though there's no reason. He's acting the same, looks the same. Just is like you know what? Something's up. Confronts him apparently, and get this right. Hikaru partially transforms into an otherworldly being, threatening to kill him if he cannot accept it, while also professing its love for him. So imagine the homies just not kind of feeling right, and you're like, "Hey man, like you good?" And he turns partially into an alien and is like, "I will fucking kill you if you cannot accept me. By the way, let's kiss." You know what I mean? Like what?
Oh
like,
yeah.
like, like that's got to be so weird and so strange, especially because like his buddy's not just an alien now, but it's also in love with him, right? But then at the same time, the world that they live in, the village that they're in, a bunch of weird stuff's happening. This seems like it is going to be, yeah, like you said, like, kind of like scary and creepy, very mysterious, and also like kind of funny. Because that sounds hilarious to me. I don't know how there's not going to be funny moments.
Dude, definitely outrageous. Like you can almost imagine how crazy that would be, especially the proclamation of love after a transformation. Yeah, I definitely think, like you said, it'll be like mysterious. There'll definitely be
Hmm.
some drama to it. And this is also made by Games, who is doing Kagurabachi. So I'm really hyped. I think it's a Netflix exclusive.
It
I
seems
know
like
it's on
it.
Netflix,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna say it's a Netflix exclusive because
Mhm.
that's on the trailer. But animation looks stellar, so that is a good precursor of things to come. They're still kind of a small studio, but they've done like really cool video games and stuff. So very excited for that.
I mean, yeah, the trailer looks cool. It seems like it's going to have some exciting animation and art, so I'm definitely excited for it. It seems like a very intriguing story as well. Hopefully, it doesn't get overlooked because one, it's a premiere and a stacked season, and also it's a Netflix exclusive, which also seems to kind of get overlooked sometimes whenever Netflix or Hulu kind of gatekeep something. But like, they gotta try. At least they're getting into the anime world. You know what I mean? But talking about another anime about love, the fragrant flower blooms with dignity. I have heard about this anime since last year. From what I can tell and from what I have heard, this is going to be the romance anime of the year. So if you're into romance animes, I hope you're excited. This seems absolutely incredible. It's kind of about two schools. One's all guys, one's all girls. Of course, one of them's a bunch of brainless degenerates. Wonder which one that is. And the other one's a bunch of stellar, classy individuals. You know what I mean? Polar opposites. Polar opposites. As you can imagine, a guy from one school, a girl from another, end up meeting, and we have a really good anime. So, I mean, I think it kind of speaks for itself. You got to check it out. If you're into romance, you know, you're going to absolutely love it. Chances are you've already heard about it. Again, I heard that this is going to be like anime of the year. People are going absolutely berserk over it. So I'm so excited for this to come out. When I heard about this like last December, I was like, oh, when's this coming out? And they're like, oh yeah, like halfway through next year. I'm like I got excited for what? You know what I mean? Like they were dropping trailers. Like it looks awesome. It looks really, really good. So I hope you guys are excited. But that kind of brings us into what people are really going to be excited about. And that is Lord of the Mysteries. This anime is not being talked about at all. Shocker. Again, stacked season. Little reminder. It has some incredible animation. First of all, I got recommended this to read the manga. You know what I mean? So I actually had it saved to my list, and I was like really excited. It has so many chapters. There is so much content for this. I haven't seen this on my anime list. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. The community, they have an amazing community. They are losing their minds. It is finally getting animated. Trailers have been dropped. Let me tell you, it is going to have the greatest animation of the season. The animation looks fucking incredible. It looks outstanding. And it seems like it's going to be really intriguing anime. It seems like it has a really good story and a really good... I think that this could be what kind of steps up if it, you know, doesn't get overlooked and could contend for anime of the year just because everything just lines up. It just seems like it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I believe we're going to be getting 13 episodes plus 2 special episodes. July 7th is when it should be coming out. I'm really, really excited about this. Like I said, I think it really could contend. It just has everything for it, and they've already talked about dropping like 6 seasons for it. That's how much content it has. It seems like this should have been animated a lot sooner, but they took their time with it and did a phenomenal job. Do you want to let us know what it is actually about?
Yeah, real quick. I just kind of like did a quick search, and it's from a Chinese studio.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, like people, especially over here, kind of overlook China as far as like manga and anime, especially animation, because you have Japan and even Korea. Like manhwa's gotten really popular over the last couple years, partly thanks to Solo Leveling. These Chinese studios are going hard, dude. We've been huge fans of To Be Hero X, which is another Chinese production.
Yep.
So the only thing I can say, and just from watching the trailer, the trailers look gorgeous, really, really good.
Yeah.
You don't want to sleep on these Chinese studios, dude. This is some seriously good stuff. But a quick synopsis, can't talk, synopsis. Lord of the Mysteries follows Zhu Mingroy, a modern-day Chinese man who transmigrates into the body of Klein Moretti in this like steampunk kind of mech-inspired world where supernatural powers, occult forces, and stuff coexist. Klein discovers that this world, which is called the World of the Gods, operates on a system of pathways which grant users specific abilities through potion consumption and rituals. So there it kind of brings in like your occult, you know, a little bit of alchemy, mixing up a potion to get this power, doing crazy rituals and sacrifices to obtain another power. So you can already see like the world's pretty like wide open. Like you said, if you've got that much content, you know, that gives you a pathway to do, no pun intended. That was so fucking bad, dude. It gives you a pathway to kind of like have a ton of different powers and, you know, an easy story-based means to get there rather than just like new character, crazy new power. So that seems cool. He joins the Nighthawks, a clandestine organization, and later becomes the enigmatic Mr. Fool, founding the Tarot Club to aid other Beyonders, which sounds like other people who transmigrate into this world. He kind of is like a guide for them and, you know, helps them either achieve their goals or get on their way. But like you said, really, really deep pool that they can pull from. I think the world and the setup sounds phenomenal. And again, the animation, good animation is enough. Like I said this before you started, if you say Cloverworks, I'm there. You know what I mean? There's certain studios that just never miss and everything's beautiful. Yeah, don't sleep on the Chinese animators, bro. This is gonna be a big hit. Like you said, I think this might be the one that steps up and like really, really grows in popularity. Kind of like To Be Hero X was a sleeper, very little promotion as far as what I saw online and social media and stuff, and it's blown up to be easily one of the biggest animes of the season.
Yeah, like it's gonna be absolutely insane because there is so much material. I can't predict the season. You know what I mean? When it comes to Lord of the Mysteries, when it comes to Gachiakuta, I can really see them just absolutely dominate, guaranteed in any other season. Just because they have like a lot of the things that a lot of people absolutely love, get hooked on, and then just spread the hype. Talk about it consistently. Of course, when it comes to romances, they can sometimes get slept on because it's not a very popular genre. A lot of people are just kind of like, we don't care. Give us the OPMC that just fucks stuff up. And then also the summer Hikaru died. Whenever something's like an exclusive, where it's Netflix or Hulu, there's a chance that it can get slept on. There's a lot of gems on Netflix and especially Hulu. Keep an eye out for those. I mean, they are really good animes. It's a shame. But with something this stacked, I really hope Lord of the Mysteries and Gachiakuta especially do not get slept on because this really could just absolutely dominate. One thing that is phenomenal is that we have manhwa, the Korean manga, and then I think donghua, I think is what it's called, the Chinese version. They are just absolutely competing, and you can tell that the competition is getting like hot because ever since manhwa kind of popped off, we kept seeing like really good stuff, start to drop. A lot's starting to get animated, and it is flawless. It is spectacular, and it's making manga step its game up, which we love because that's better content, better quality for us. The Chinese stuff, Donwa, that stuff's amazing. Link Click is phenomenal. Anyone I recommend it to, they talk about it's like the greatest sleeper of all time. It is fantastic. You know what I mean? We have To Be Hero X that has been dominating. You know what I mean? And now we have Lord of the Mysteries. I think that this can be absolutely incredible. The competition is just perfect for us, and oh my god, it couldn't have come at a better time. We are living the high life when it comes to anime now. It is incredible, but I'm super excited for this. I love the competition. I think that this could absolutely dominate. And I saw everybody, the community's phenomenal for this. Everyone just spamming, Mr. Fool in the comments. So I cannot wait to start watching it and kind of understand what that's all about. I don't know, man. I'm super, super, super excited for this season. As you can tell, it is just disgustingly stacked. It is very easy to get lost. I mean, we sped run, especially the beginning of that, and this, 20 minutes already? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of content. Good luck trying to keep up. I know we're going to have to because we're going to be making videos on it. So if you look forward to that, come stick around. We are going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. But is there anything you want to kind of say on the season? I'm nervous. I'm excited. And I'm overwhelmed.
I mean, as somebody who's like, been watching anime, I would say pretty much my whole life, but it's obviously evolved and changed like everything else. To have a season so stacked with so many great titles, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, DanDaDan, Kaiju, you have all these top tier heavy hitters, but then you also have like a lot of really awesome up and comers. I think Gachiakuta will be huge. I'm a huge fan of that. Like you really are getting the best of both worlds, and just like you said, it's a perfect example in, kind of modern society where competition breeds better results, better, constantly better, like products and content. And like you said, that competition is just good for us. I think fans are going to eat it up. And I gotta say, I think this is probably the best, most stacked anime season I've ever seen. And especially since I've been watching kind of season to season and trying to, pick out sleepers or like premieres that might get slept on. So I couldn't be more excited. I think my only issue is I need a couple more hours in the day to make sure I watch everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be an absolute disaster. I don't know how we're gonna keep up with it. Again, guys, come check out the check-in in a couple of weeks. Well, a couple weeks after the season starts, we're gonna be talking about what has been delivering, what has been absolutely incredible and on fire, and what has come out of nowhere. Because there's gonna be animes. I promise you, at least one that's gonna come out of absolute nowhere that we haven't named here that is gonna be killing it in the summer. So keep a lookout for that video. I hope you guys are excited. In the comments down below, drop your favorite anime that you're looking forward to in this summer season. It is going to be insane. It's going to be incredible. And hope you guys enjoyed. And hope you guys are ready. See you in the next one, guys. And peace.